The weight of the crown had always loomed over Auric, a symbol of duty, honor, and sacrifice. As the eldest son of King Alaric, the throne was his by right, yet the path it represented was one he never truly desired. The council, consisting of lords, knights, and trusted advisors, had urged him to ascend, to unify the fractured realms of men against the rising darkness. But deep within his heart, Auric knew that ruling from a throne was not where his destiny lay. In a grand hall, adorned with banners of the kingdom and the flickering light of torches, Auric stood before the gathered nobles, his voice steady and resolute. "I will not take the throne," he declared, the weight of his decision evident in his tone. The chamber fell silent, the lords and advisors exchanging bewildered glances, their expectations shattered. Auric continued, his gaze sweeping over the room. "The burden of rule is not mine to bear. My brother Gareth is the rightful heir. He will be king." Prince Gareth, younger yet wise beyond his years, looked at Auric with a mixture of surprise and understanding. He had always known his brother's reluctance to rule, yet hearing the decision spoken aloud was a momentous occasion. Auric's words were not born of fear but of conviction, a recognition that his true calling lay not in governance, but in action. Gareth stepped forward, his expression grave yet accepting. "If this is your will, brother, then I will take up the crown, but only to lead our people in unity against the darkness. I trust in your wisdom, and I will guide our kingdom with honor." With the decision made, Auric turned his gaze toward the distant horizon, where the ancient city of Ilarion lay hidden among the mountains and forests. The quest for the Starfire scepter called to him, a quest that might hold the key to their salvation. And so, with his brother ascending to the throne, Auric prepared to join the company of adventurers already on the path, their mission clear but fraught with danger. The party setting out for Ilarion was a carefully chosen group, each member selected for their unique skills and unwavering loyalty. They knew the journey would be perilous, but the stakes were too high to allow fear or hesitation to deter them. As they gathered in the courtyard of the castle, they made their final preparations. Auric, the leader, a warrior of great skill and a noble heart, Auric had spent years training in the art of combat. His sword, inherited from his father, was a symbol of his lineage and the responsibility that came with it. Though he had declined the throne, Auric knew that leadership in battle was where he truly excelled. His role was clear: to protect and guide the group, ensuring that their missions succeeded. Lirael, the elven mage with her long silver hair and piercing blue eyes, stood next to Auric, her demeanor calm and focused. Lirael's role was that of the group's primary spellcaster, her mastery over elemental magic essential for facing the dark forces they would undoubtedly encounter. Her knowledge of ancient lore and history also made her the group's strategist, providing insight into the scepter's potential locations and the dangers they would face. Bromir, a seasoned dwarf warrior with a thick red beard and a gruff attitude, Bromir was the party's shield. Armed with a massive battle axe and a shield emblazoned with the crest of his clan, Bromir was a force of nature in combat, using his brute strength and indomitable spirit to protect his companions. He harbored a deep distrust of men, stemming from old grudges. But Auric had earned his respect. A rare feat indeed. Thargrim, the dwarf's brother-in-arms and a master blacksmith. Thargrim carried with him a set of enchanted weapons and armor that he had crafted himself. His role extended beyond battle. Thargrim was the group's smith and engineer, capable of repairing equipment, crafting weapons, and using his knowledge of metallurgy to detect hidden traps or secret passages. His loyalty to Bromir was unwavering, and where his brother led, Thargrim followed. Seraphine, a skilled archer and tracker, Seraphine was a half-elf with an enigmatic past. Her sharp eyes and quick reflexes made her the group's scout and hunter, responsible for finding the safest paths, locating food, and detecting any threats before they could ambush the party. Seraphine's ability to move silently through any terrain was invaluable, and her keen intuition often provided early warnings of danger. Eldrin. A human ranger with a deep connection to nature, Eldrin's knowledge of the wilds was unmatched. His role was that of the guide and healer, using his herbal remedies to treat wounds and his deep understanding of animal behavior to predict weather patterns or locate water sources. Eldrin's loyalty to Arik was born of a shared history. They had fought side by side in previous battles, and Eldrin would follow Arik into the darkest depths without question.
In days of old, when shadows crept and darkened skies were cast, a brotherhood with courage leapt to seek a fate held fast. Through treacherous woods and mountains tall, their hearts as one they answered the call to Ilarion's gate where legends fall, with hope both bold and vast. Oh, Ilarion, where ancient magic sleeps. In twilight's hold your mystery keeps. We march through storm where shadow weeps to seek your hidden prize. Through night so dark and trials dire, we journey on through fate's own pyre, to claim the power, be consumed by fire beneath your watchful eyes. Their path was fraught with shadows bane, where dark life beasts did roar. Yet steadfast hearts would not wane, and spirits strong would soar. An unexpected light did grace their way, a gift to guide through darkened day, where ancient magic held its sway, in halls of lore and lore. Oh, Ilarion, where ancient magic sleeps. In twilight's hold your mystery keeps. We march through storm where shadow weeps, to seek your hidden prize. Through night so dark and trials dire, we journey on through fate's own pyre, to claim the power, be consumed by fire beneath your watchful eyes. At last they reached the city's gate, where whispers filled the air. Yet darkness stirred within the state, and dangers lurked with flare. But undeterred, they braved the night, to face what lay beyond their sight. In Ilarion's depths, both cold and tight, where shadows' secrets snare. Oh, Ilarion, where ancient magic sleeps. In twilight's hold your mystery keeps. We march through storm where shadow weeps, to seek your hidden prize. Through night so dark and trials dire, we journey on through fate's own pyre, to claim the power, be consumed by fire beneath your watchful eyes.
With the group assembled, their journey began. The road to Ilarion was long and fraught with peril, the path winding through treacherous terrain and darkened forests. They travelled with purpose, their resolve unshaken despite the challenges that lay ahead. But as they ventured deeper into the ancient woodlands of Morvath, they encountered their first true test. The forest of Morvath was a place of old magic, where the trees grew twisted and gnarled, their branches reaching out like skeletal hands. The air grew thick with a suffocating mist, and the sunlight barely penetrated the dense canopy above. It was here, in the heart of Morvath, that they felt the first stirrings of unease. As they advanced, the forest seemed to close in around them, the shadows lengthening and deepening. Seraphine, ever vigilant, noticed the unnatural movement among the trees. "We're being watched," she whispered, her hand instinctively moving to her bow. Arik, at the head of the group, tightened his grip on his sword, his eyes scanning the darkness. "Stay close and be ready. These woods are cursed." The shadows beneath the trees began to coalesce, forming into dark humanoid figures with hollow eyes that glowed with a faint malevolent light. The Morvath shades had come to life, creatures of darkness born from the cursed souls of those who had perished in the Great War. Lirael stepped forward, her hands glowing with arcane energy. "These are no ordinary spirits. They seek to drain the very life from us. Be on your guard." The shades moved with unnatural speed, their forms shifting and blending into the shadows as they closed in on the group. Seraphine loosed arrows with deadly precision, each one striking true, but the shades seemed endless. Bromir and Thargrim stood side by side, their axes gleaming in the dim light as they hacked through the shadowy figures. Bromir's booming voice echoed through the forest as he roared in defiance, his blows shattering the shades' ethereal bodies. Lirael conjured orbs of light that she sent spinning through the air, the magical energy burning away the darkness wherever it touched. Eldrin, his bow drawn, fired arrows tipped with silver, each one causing the shades to hiss and recoil. Despite their best efforts, the shades seemed to multiply with every strike. Arik realized they needed something more to turn the tide. Recalling a tale he had heard in his youth, he reached into his pack and retrieved a vial of blessed water, a relic from the sacred springs of Aeloria. With a swift motion, he shattered the vial against the ground, the holy water spreading across the forest floor in a shimmering wave. The effect was immediate. The shades let out a collective wail as the light consumed them, their forms dissolving into nothingness. The mist lifted, and the forest returned to its eerie silence. "The Morvath shades were a warning," Lirael said, her voice tinged with worry. "The darkness knows we are coming." The next leg of their journey took them through the Ironclad Pass, a narrow, rocky gorge flanked by towering cliffs. The pass had once been a strategic stronghold during the Great War, its walls lined with the remains of old battlements and rusting weapons. Now it was a graveyard, haunted by the spirits of those who had fallen in battle. As they entered the pass, the temperature dropped, and a chilling wind swept through the gorge, carrying with it the faint sounds of clashing steel and the cries of the dying. Eldrin, ever attuned to the spirits of the land, felt the presence of something unnatural. "We're not alone here," he murmured, his hand resting on the hilt of his sword. The ground beneath their feet began to tremble, and the ghostly forms of fallen warriors rose from the earth, their armor rusted and their weapons dull, yet still deadly. These were the Ironclad, cursed to fight their final battle for all eternity. Arik stepped forward, his sword raised high. "These spirits have been bound to this place by dark magic. We must free them." The Ironclad advanced with relentless determination, their ghostly eyes fixed on the living intruders. Bromir and Thargrim moved to the front, their shields raised as they met the spectral warriors head-on. The clang of metal on metal echoed through the pass as the brothers fought with fierce determination. Lirael, recognizing the nature of the curse, began chanting in the ancient elven tongue. Her voice, clear and powerful, resonated through the air, the magic of her words weaving a protective barrier around the group. The ghostly warriors struggled to breach the barrier, their ethereal weapons clashing harmlessly against it. Seraphine, perched on a rocky outcrop, fired arrows with deadly accuracy, each one striking the hearts of the ghostly warriors. Eldrin, moving with the grace of a predator, slipped through the battle, his sword flashing as he dispatched the spirits with precise, calculated strikes. To be continued. If you're enjoying the story of Eldoria, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated.